Okay, so y'all, let's move on and let's move to our next topic, which is the aftermath of this whole Joy Reid firation over at MSNBC, or as I like to call it sometimes, the Blue MAGA Network. Because quiet as it's kept, MSNBC ain't no different than Fox News, except what Fox News does over there for Red MAGA, MSNBC does for Blue MAGA. So everybody's got their little cults when you have your, your little situation, all that. And I guess a lot of y'all ain't gonna like what I got to say, but oh well. So, but we ain't never been all about saying the most popular thing to make everybody feel great. But I will give it up to Rachel Maddow. Kudos to her for calling out MSNBC and what they did to her on their own damn network. So Rachel Maddow, who was MSNBC's most influential and reportedly highest paid anchor, I wonder how much she's getting paid, because word on the curve was Joy was getting $25 million. So I wonder how much Rachel's getting. So she basically took the extraordinary step of calling out her own network on Monday night, openly criticizing the latest programming shakeup that has resulted in the cancellation of shows hosted by MSNBC's only non-white primetime anchor. So it wasn't just Joy Reid that was getting canceled. It was a lot of people of color that they were bringing up. And I do have the video of Rachel speaking about this on her show. Please help.
PM hour, all the other nights except for Mondays. So that's a big change. An even bigger programming change is at 7 p.m., 7 p.m. Eastern, where Joy Reid's show, The Readout, ended tonight. And Joy is not taking a different job in the network. She is leaving the network altogether. And that is very, very, very hard to take. I am 51 years old. I have been gainfully employed since I was 12. And I have had so many different kinds of jobs, you wouldn't believe me if I told you. But in all of the jobs I have had, in all of the years I have been alive, there is no colleague for whom I have had more affection and more respect than Joy Reid. I love everything about her. I have learned so much from her. I have so much more to learn from her. I do not want to lose her as a colleague here at MSNBC. And personally, I think it is a bad mistake to let her walk out the door. It is not my call, and I understand that. But that's what I think.
Okay, so you pretty much got the gist of what she had to say. This video goes on for 5 minutes. We're not going to have to play. There's no need for us to play the whole thing, but I feel like you got the gist of what she had said. And I actually applaud her for speaking out for Joy Reid, who, no shade, I don't think Joy would have done the same thing if the shoe was on the other foot, but nevertheless, it was cute or whatever that you did what you did. But Reid was not the only one that was actually fired as well. Alex Wagner was fired. Also, because, Rebecca Cutler, who's the former CNN senior executive, became MSNBC's new president. They came in and she just basically just started cracking the whip and was like, okay, certain people got to go. But I find it funny that y'all got rid of Joy Reid and a bunch of these other people, but Joe and Miko, who, went over there and licked the crack of Trump ass the minute that he was elected over at Mar-a-Lago, they still got their job. Al Sharpton, who I don't know anybody that watches his damn show over there at MSNBC, still got his job. Then they were replaced by Michael Steele, who, comes out and says a couple of little fiery things, and it's like, oh yeah, we got somebody with some cojones, and it's like, whatever. MSNBC was working my root canal nerve, and I just don't think that it was only Joy Reid, her being black, that took a part in the reason why y'all got rid of her. I'm sure there's probably a little bit of that in there, but I think there's also other reasons. One, I think a lot of people were sick and tired of being lied to, because y'all sat and lied to the people in regards of like how Kamala Harris was tracking over in the whole election thing going up against Trump, because y'all knew after the first election of Joe Biden, who won by a slight margin, a slim margin, I should say, because people were pissed off at Trump over the whole COVID situation, how he handled it, which is why if you look at things now, he has, all these executive orders and all this other stuff. So it's like, you can't even print about this measles outbreak and all these other things that's going on in mainstream media. They're not talking about it because he started being like, oh, well, the mistakes I made before, I'm going to put things in place so that way that stuff doesn't get out. Hence why, if you go on a lot of federal websites, a lot of information about measles outbreaks and all these other viruses and all these other things that's going on is not up there, because he knew to do that part so that way y'all wouldn't get the information. You got to go on a lot of these progressive pundits channels to get the information, because you're not going to get it from the MSNBCs and CNN and all these other things, because the minute that man became president again, a lot of y'all went over there and started to bend the knee because y'all are afraid of the repercussions. And I will say this, even though there have been some things that people said was problematic about Joy Reid. Number one, how she went and started posting things about, well, not even posted, but, well, we can get to the posting about the blog that she had, that she claimed that she was hacked, even though she said in her, when she had to speak on it, that there was no evidence of a hackation of her website, where she was posting things that was homophobic and very anti John McCain and all things of that nature. But she was out here saying that she was hacked. But if the evidence wasn't there, just admit that you wrote what you wrote on there. You could have just said, that's how I was thinking back in the day. I don't think that way no more, and I apologize. We would have been a little more forgiving. But she ain't even come uncop to the fact that she made homophobic stuff. Yet and still, you got a whole lesbian over there at MSNBC, windmilling hard for you to get your job back. But you don't like privilege. Okay. Now, I don't know if her ministry is still there anymore. However, when you never cop to what you had said in them posts, kind of side-eyeing you a little bit, sis. And not only that, when Bernie Sanders was running, you was trying to you tried your damnness to sabotage his campaign, even so far as bringing some big back body language specialist on your damn show to discredit. Oh, he hunching over. That means he's being dishonest. I'm like, girl, get off my line. Because first of all, your back's so damn big, I can't tell if you slouching or if you sitting up straight. But you going to sit up in here and say that Bernie Sanders is doing. I said, yeah, he's an old man. You think old people sit up straight like how we do? Like, get out of here. Like, you were just saying a whole bunch of other stuff because y'all didn't like the fact that Bernie Sanders is what the people wanted, and y'all wanted to push in Hillary Clinton. Hence why I feel like at this point, and I did not want, it's funny how we talk about this stuff, but I knew politics was going to fly up in here, because hence why we talk about MSNBC. The Democrats' problem of why y'all keep losing, y'all keep trying to push in people that we ain't asked for versus who the people want. Yeah, when we had Barack Obama and stuff, it was like he was giving this legion of hope and all this other stuff, but we were here for it, and that's why we voted for him. Hence then, because he wasn't supposed to do 8 years. Everybody was getting mad, like Hillary and all them. Oh, it's your time, so let's put her in. Why do you think she lost to Trump? We ain't want her. Same thing with Kamala. We didn't really want her first. Quiet as a scat. People didn't want her ass when she was the vice president. And y'all knew this. Hence why the minute Biden became president, y'all hit her in a damn attic like she was Anne Frank. Same thing they doing right now with J.D. Vance. You ain't seen him since Trump been president. Hence why all the jokes is going on that him and he's the vice president and the actual president is Apartheid Clyde, who's out here right now going through his ketamine withdrawals in real time. So, yeah, because that's the word on the street, child. And we seen him go through his little ketamine withdrawal in real time. When it was the other day, they was asking him something, and I'm like, you're not even forming complete sentences. What the hell are you saying? So, and it wasn't, and so, yeah, so it was that. So it was the issue with the blog stuff and you trying to sabotage Bernie Sanders' campaign. And y'all was working overtime to do that. So, and then it wasn't only, so I feel like after everything that's been going on, people have just been tired of being lied to. And I've noticed that when I look on social media, I see a lot of older people talk about, where am I going to go get my news? And why, they're getting rid of so many people. I'm like, y'all really need to stop relying on legacy media. Legacy media has been lying to us for a long time. They're not willing to go and tell us what we need to talk about. And I will give her this, but not too much. I appreciate that she was out here speaking on Gaza and Israel and so that stuff. She was doing a little light work when it came to it. It was a little mild. She didn't give us the full heat, the whole gin, add a little extra sazon on the situation. But she did just enough that she get a slight little smack on the hand, but not a full lashing. So everybody trying to give Joy Reid like she's this revolutionary and we go, oh yeah, she was speaking out again. No, really read between the lines. She wasn't going too hard. And in regards of this post-election, a lot of people's ratings over there at MSNBC has been dropping. But I say this, similar to Don Lemon, but I'll say this, instead of y'all sitting whining and crying about the fact that y'all losing your jobs, if you really doubt it, sis, and you really want to go against the establishment, like you trying to act like you've been doing over there at MSNBC, the real proof in the pudding is for you to go independent. If you were making the $25 million, which I believe was the same amount of money that Don Lemon was making before y'all fired him while he was still in the contract, by the way. Remember when they did that to him last year and he went independent? He loosened up the shackles a little bit. I still want Don to really go in and let have. He hasn't done that yet. Probably because he, hoping and praying sooner or later, the networks will still give him an opportunity. Let me tell you, it's so much better over here on the independent side. It's a little harder for us to make noise and to get out here and do whatever. But at the end of the day, we could say stuff, and me, the difference between me and these other crazy pundits, I'm going to bring you the facts. I'm not just going to sit up here and spew a whole bunch of BS like a Joe damn Rogan and all that mashed potatoes he got for a damn brain, and all because I want to be making those millions. And now when you look at it, the Midas Touch is kicking his behind, and his ratings are going down the toilet. And shout out to many other people that have been pointing this out, Pondering Politics, and who was and Kyle Kalinske over there at Secular Talk. He's had his foot on Joe Rogan's neck from the beginning, especially when he started showing the grit that he's doing over there. And I don't understand you incels that sit over there and watch the foolishness that come out of his damn mouth, because he just go where the wind blows and the coin. But I feel like the reason why he went over there to the other side is because he was rejected by the centrist Democrats. So when they sit up here trying to say they're going a little more progressive at MSNBC, I'm calling BS on it. Y'all are not. Y'all are not. Y'all gonna sit up here and think, because somebody could just raise their voice a little bit, then it makes them progressive. No, y'all not speaking the way we speaking over here when it comes to this stuff. So yeah, so now they got lightweights, Simone Sanders ass kissing behind Michael Steele, who, remember, once upon a time was a part of Republican National Convention. He was running it. But now that the Republican Party was hijacked by the Trump Republicans, once he reshaped the Republican Party, then all of a sudden you decided to jump off the ship and try to act like you've seen the light. And then you got Alicia Menendez. So yeah, while there are still people of color at MSNBC, these are the people that are going to bend the knee. They're not going to go so hard on Israel and Gaza, because we already know that they literally trying to flatten out the West Bank and give all that to them, to Netanyahu, because all that money that Trump took, not only from apartheid Clyde, but Miriam Adelson. All that money she was giving him, but guess what? She was giving money to Biden too. But now that this is the new president, of course, she's going to want the West Bank. They've already taken most of Gaza. Now they want to turn that into a resort. They didn't want to turn that into Las Vegas, where there's a bunch of casinos and things of that nature out there, while y'all push all these people whose land it is rightfully theirs out. Colonization, something that, clear folks are real good at, colonizers. So good luck to y'all. If y'all want to go and apply for a new job, I'll just say this, but you, Joy Reid, this is a blessing in disguise. If you really want to be about it, what you need to do is take that coin you got that you've been saving up, I'm sure, turn one of your rooms in your house into a studio. Instead of you having to spend money for a studio, you can just get some equipment, hire you a producer. You don't need a multitude. You can get you one producer. You can get you somebody that y'all come up with topics or whatever the case is, a nice editor, all other stuff that helps edit the show and all that. And you do a podcast. You do a show similar to like what we do over here, except I'm a party of one. I do all this by myself. So get you, a producer, since you got the Cointadas, have all this set up, your lights, you could do your own hair and makeup. Or throw a wig on, sis. That's the one good thing about being a woman. Y'all can just throw a wig on, beat your little, throw a little makeup, a little nice lip gloss. The melanin is already popping, so you ain't got to worry about that. And you go and just run your mouth for an hour and a half or 2 hours, or how long you want to do a show. And really tell the people and take off the guardrails. Go in and really give the people the tea that they need. And don't worry about legacy media, because legacy media ain't where it's at. You know, once upon a time, and I feel like I still have those aspirations, but I go back and forth with it. Hence why I think it's taking me so long to pop off. But I've wanted to get to a place where it's like, you know what, enough people see this show. And I put out there in the universe that I will get the opportunity to go and be on TV and have my own talk show in the vein of like a Wendy Williams, where I'm in an actual studio with an audience and doing all other stuff. And you see when they did Tamron Hall dirty, where she went, she got herself a show and has been greenlit for another season. So she's doing it. Screw NBC. After they did her dirty, look at her. She living it up now over at ABC with her talk show. That's doing well in the ratings. It was just greenlit for a 6th season. And they finally got it in syndication because you can watch it now on Hulu. And I was never able to really watch it. I could see the clips on YouTube, but now you can watch it on Hulu. So I'm wondering at this point, are they going to actually, like within the next year, Tamron Hall show is going to end up like The View and Sherry Shepherd and all them, where you could watch it on YouTube as well. That's only a matter of time. I think that's going to happen. But yeah, just go and set up your own show. You have you can go on Spotify, you can go on Apple Music or whatever it's called with the podcast, and get your little sponsors. And you can have people send you super chats like they do with this show that I do. Super stickers, whatever the case is. People could donate money if you really about trying to help the people, because that's what she said. And I'm gonna show you, because she said it on her Instagram, which I saw a lot of people in the comments trying to throw shade. But this is what she said. Hold on.
Still painful, and I love my team. And we created this incredible, multiracial, really interesting, eclectic team. And I feel awfully for them. I feel bad for my audience and for the people who love the readout, because I think we were actually doing a real service and doing good work and in analyzing the madness that's going on in a unique way. And I think representation matters, and not having a Black woman in that space doing it in that specific way, and having Alex Wagner, an Asian American woman, doing it in her specific way. It is not ideal, in a time when we're facing such onslaughts against DEI and diversity, but it's still painful. And I love my team.
So yeah, that's what she said. And it's like, yeah, it is painful. And I know like it feels bad, because not only is she losing her job, but the people that worked at the show with her, that was behind the scenes, they're out of a job too. So the industry is imploding. Mainstream network television media is imploding. The future is the internet. If people, as I always say, we have a responsibility to give y'all the truth and not just be out here spewing stuff that sounds good. Because I could just sit up here and spew y'all a bunch of BS, but then y'all wouldn't watch. Hence is why y'all like when I keep it real over here, because I don't know any other way to do it. It's just the side effects of being a damn Virgo. It's like we just can't hold back when the stuff we say with our mouth. But for the most part, I was like, yeah, if you about it, sis, just go in, do your show, and take the guardrails off. And now if you go independent, you could say all the things that you were being advised not to say, because you cannot tell me when y'all wasn't over at MSNBC and all them other networks that y'all don't be holding back on certain things that y'all could say. Because if you really want to go in and say the things you want to say about Palestine and Israel, you would be out of a job. Or you'd have been suspended for a week like Whoopi Goldberg. Remember when she said what she said about Jews, which wasn't even that bad? Or when Nick Cannon said what he said about the Jewish community, and it wasn't that bad, but y'all wanted to basically lay him over a table and have him get a lashing with a wet whip. That's literally where it was with that at that point. So shout out to you, Joy Reid. Even though I always say like nobody's perfect, so I always got to call out the good and the bad. But later on, like from where she came from back in the day versus the way she is now, I do applaud that she, even though, like I said, it was a little light work, but she did speak out against certain things. She was going a lot harder on Trump in certain situations, hence why I think also, because like I said, this current regime, a lot of the liberal media, blue MAGA media, is trying to take a different approach because they don't want to deal with the wrath of this loudmouth, cottonmouth loser that we have for a damn president. So I say all this, and I can say that because we all from New York, he from Queens, and so am I. So I say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story in regards to Joy Reid losing her job over there at MSNBC, and what do you think she should go? Like I said before, I think she should just go independent, like her good friend Don Lemon and so many others, and don't rely on legacy media. Legacy media is not what it used to be. So, and a lot of people are just over getting their information from legacy media. I think in the last year, more people have gone getting their information off the internet. And I know I see a lot of legacy media people, including them over at The View, trying to scoff at us that's over here doing this job. But if y'all was actually doing your job and wasn't sitting licking the crack of these corporate people's ass, if you was doing your job, then we wouldn't have a job to do over here in regards of picking up the slack that y'all just kind of left to the side because them $9 million a year salaries is more important than actually telling the people what they need to know in regards of what's going on in their everyday lives. So I say all that to say, let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below.